Okay guys, so today we're going to talk about the all-important rune efficiency, more like rune set efficiency, alright? So first we're going to hit up the overall set efficiencies, then we're going to compare fatal versus rage, and finally we're going to talk about optimizing your attack damage, alright? And how to get the most how to get the most damage you could possibly do on any monster, alright? So let's go into it. Alright, so first we got sets, alright? The most efficient sets are the ones that give you skills, alright? So, for example, no amount of HP will give you the effect of a will set, okay? Therefore, it is most efficient to have these sets. But most of us cannot optimize these runes, so we actually need help from our giant runes, and we're going to take a quick look at which ones are most efficient. But first, let's review the formula here. So what I did was I took a 6-star rank 15 rune, divided it by what would be a 2-set rune, and then I divided that by what the efficiency of a rage set was, which came out to be 4. So all of these results are relative to rage. Now taking a look at this, let me go ahead and pick a highlighter. Alright, so your blade, guard, and energy runes are really trash, okay? If somebody's telling you to put 3 sets of energy on your monster, I don't think that's very credible. What you want to do is you want to put 3 sets of endure on your monster, because getting 20% resistance in your substats is a lot harder than getting 15% HP in a substat, which I have many runes that I throw out because they land on HP that much. Swift is better for monsters that are really fast. I believe I took Theomars has a base speed of 100, giving it a pretty solid efficiency. But when you hit monsters that get 110, with a lot of monsters that get awakened with speed, you really start getting really efficient stats from your Swift set. So, oh, whoa. Alright, I had a little note back there saying you really want to have your monsters, if they're really fast, you want Swift, and Focus and Endure are really efficient. Alright, so let's talk about Fatal versus Rage. I know a lot of you might already know the answer to this, but here's some actual results that you can factually compare to, rather that it's a lot more visually pleasing to the eye. So this is the formula right here. You have your total attack, you add it with your total effective crit damage with your skill ups, times it with your attack, and then you add those two together, okay? Giving you your final damage. It's pretty standard. A lot of people probably already know this if they ever thought more into it, but just in case if you didn't know. So let's compare these two sets right here. Add 78% crit rate. Now I've seen people say it's equal at like 70% or 68. It's 78. These two sets are exactly equal with the crit damage rune. You have to have crit damage because you get the most stats out of it. You get 80% versus 63. Now if you were getting 63% crit damage, then the real debate would exist on what rune to pick. So at 78% crit chance, they're both equal. Now once you get 100% crit damage, Rage is slightly better than Fatal by 10%. Now when I say 10%, it's not really 10% because 10% would imply 0.6. It's a sixth of a 10%. Yeah, okay. So it's not that much better. Now when you add skill ups, your Fatal will actually be stronger than your Rage, assuming you have 30% coming in for skill ups. So let's say somebody, off the bat, I know Neo Stonefighter gets 35% in skill ups. Yeah, you want to have Vampire and Nemesis so you can do Cherukia, but just as an example, Fatal would give you more damage over Rage for somebody with skill ups. So here's a quick summary. Fatal outdoes Rage once you factor in skill ups, At 78%, they're both equal. Any higher goes to rage, any lower goes to fatal. At 25% skill ups, both runes at 100% crit chance. Both sets at 100% crit chance are exactly equal. Okay, so you know it doesn't matter. Them moving fatal over to necro, I mean rage over to necro, it doesn't really affect people who are building attack monsters. So here I put what I would say would be the most optimal stats to get out of your monster for any attacker that scales explicitly on attack. In a later video, I'll cover HP and speed monsters because those have different formulas, and adding 1% HP might not be better than adding 1% attack for your damage, or vice versa. Same thing with speed. And I'm fairly certain that skills that scale off of your max health, enemy's max health, is factored in with your attack. So you can't have 0 attack and still take 20% off of target's max health. I really believe it scales both together. Anyways, so taking a look at this, a few things to note here is this is with the Max Glory shop. Alright, a lot of people won't even have this for a while, and with 2.0 skill ups, which I found to be the average on most attackers and what they typically have in their skill ups, aside from accuracy for effects, they usually have roughly 20%. A lot of attackers actually might have more, and that would change. So taking a look at this, you have your 6-star runes right here that are maxed with a rage set, okay? And you have your 100% crit chance coming in from 3 runes, alright? In the previous Fatal vs. Rage example, this was assuming you have no substats whatsoever, and every single substat has your crit chance in it. This is assuming you have godly runes and you're just min-maxing your damage, okay? And this is what you should go for. So let's take a look at how I quickly calculated those results. I kind of made a few typos here, so let me go ahead and just highlight with the mistakes that I made. This is not correct. 2.5 times 2.5. 2.5 squared is not 5. Okay, that's my bad. And this is slightly inaccurate. So yeah, I apologize for that. I got too lazy to go back to switch it because I made a presentation for Summoner's War. You got to give me that. So this is a little bit confusing. The way I calculated this, and this is what the formula is. To min-max your damage, to get the most out of your damage, you want to add your total attack plus total crit damage ever achievable, whichever is the highest possible. Alright? So it's a little bit complicated, and if you look in the description below, I'll post a link to an Excel sheet that I made just for you guys, where you can put in the stats and it'll tell you what you should build in your monster, and you could play around with those results if you wish. But for now, believe me, what you have to do is your attack should be 1.0 higher than your crit damage, because at the end, when you're calculating your total damage, you're adding attack back in. So just how multiplication works, if let's say if you're playing around with numbers between 1 through 5, 5 times 1 is 5, plus 5 is 10. That's not very high. However, 3 times 2, which is 6, adding another 3. Am I messing that up? Yeah, alright, we're going to scratch that. Forget it. Just take a look at the spreadsheet at the end and just take my word on it. Your attack should be 1.0 higher than your crit damage at all times. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. It took me a long time to get this through, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. If I made any mistakes, please correct me. Alright, and thanks for watching.